Hello and welcome to this video. Today we're going to be covering phone script mechanics. My name is Scott Summers, agency owner with Symmetry Financial Group. We're going to break the phone script down into a few different segments. The first is the introduction. With the introduction, we want to establish why we're calling. Hi, Joan. Hey there, this is Scott. Scott Summers, calling about the BB&T mortgage for $337,233 for your home over there on 123 Main Street here in New York City. And the reason for my call is you had sent over the form for the mortgage protection back when you took out the loan, and it's my job to verify the information that you wrote down so I can work up some options for you. Now, you put down your date of birth as 12/13/1972, and I see another date of birth of 4/13/1975. Is that the wife? We want to make sure that we're keeping our voice low and slow. We're not talking in ups. So a couple quick notes here is you want to pause for a couple seconds after saying the city they live in. You want to give them time to make a response. So the way this is going to flow, calling about the BB&T mortgage for $337,233 for your home over there on 123 Main Street here in New York City. Yeah, what about it? And the reason for my call is you had sent over the form for your mortgage protection. Okay, that's one note. Another one is you don't want to leave any spaces after that. A classic error for a new agent is they'll like to leave a pause after they say, I can work up some options for you. So you want to make sure that you're flowing right to the next sentence. My job is to verify the information you wrote down so I can work up some options for you. Now, you put down your date of birth as 12/13/1972. Yes. And I see you put another date of birth down here as 4/13/1975. Is that your spouse? So now that we've established the reason for our call, we need to verify the health information. I like to have a client qualification form ready, and what I'm doing is making notes on the client qualification form and not the leads. So let's take a look at some potential health issues and follow-up questions. Okay, let's see, health-wise, are you a smoker or non-smoker? Non-smoker. Perhaps they're a smoker. Okay, is that cigarettes, pipes, cigars? Are there any recent medical conditions I need to know about, like heart attack, cancer, or stroke? Yes, I had a heart attack. Okay, well, how long ago was that? You always want to make a note of how many years ago it was. Yes, I actually had cancer back in 2011. Okay, now we know the date. Another follow-up question would be, are you having any follow-up treatments or medications? Yes, I had a stroke about 3 years ago. Okay, 3 years ago, and any type of follow-up treatments or medications? Okay, anything you need to control like high blood pressure or diabetes? Yes, I have high blood pressure. Okay, and then how many medications do you take? I take 2 medications. Okay, and do you know the name of those medications? Yes, I have diabetes. Okay. Do you treat that with pills or insulin? Okay, outside of that, any other medical conditions I need to know about? After the health information on the script, now is this mortgage a 15, 20, or 30 year? Okay, and what does that monthly payment look like every month? Just a ballpark is fine. One little tip or word of advice here would be anytime you're given a health issue from a client, try to find a good spin. I have high blood pressure. Okay, and are you keeping up with your treatments and are you keeping that under control? Yes. Okay, great. Yes, I have diabetes. Okay, and then are you compliant with the doctor's orders and keeping that under control? Yes. Okay. Actually, I had cancer 5 years ago. Okay, and is that in full remission? Yes. Oh, great. Hey, on a side note, that's awesome. I always want to try to find something uplifting. I don't want the client thinking after I spoke to them on the phone that I'm going to be coming out there prying too much in their medical situation and making them feel bad about their situation, and also maybe given the idea that I might not be able to get them any coverage and it might be a waste of their time. The emotion question, really the most important question. This is the reason they sent the letter in. But the question sounds like this. Well, I guess the most important thing I need to know is what's your main concern as far as the coverage goes? What do you want the coverage to do for you? Emotion sells. Keep this in front of them. The more emotion, the higher likelihood you're going to sit the appointment. And if you sit the appointment, the higher likelihood that they're going to move forward and take action. So let's look at some scenarios. The answers will usually be, well, I want to make sure if something happens to me that the loan will be paid off for my spouse. Then once again, I'm going to ask a follow-up question. Okay, would it be difficult for you to pay the mortgage if something happened to your spouse? Write down both scenarios. Don't just assume that the wife or the husband would be okay if something happened to the other. Perhaps they answer, well, I'm not sure. Then lead them to the answer. Make it a yes or no answer. Okay, well, heaven forbid something happened to you. Would it be difficult for the family to keep the home? If he or she answers yes, now proceed to ask another question. Would it be difficult for you to pay the mortgage if something happened to your spouse? I always like to ask follow-up questions. Or sometimes they'll hold their cards back and give you a superficial answer like, how much is it? Sometimes people put their guard up. Just say, heaven forbid something happened to you, would it be difficult for the family to keep the home? Or, let's see if this makes sense for you. I'm guessing you sent the letter back because you're thinking that if something were to happen to you, this would be in place so the family wouldn't be saddled with a mortgage payment. Now I'm going to move forward to booking the appointment. Okay, John, I'm a broker. I'm not married to any one particular carrier, and that's why your bank referred me to you. I can tell you, you most likely qualify for what's called simplified issue, which basically means it's a non-medical policy. And that's where we don't have to send a nurse out and prick you with a needle or ask you a bunch of crazy health questions, but they do require me to verify that you are who you say you are. It takes me about 10 minutes to go over this with you two. During the week, are you two available in the afternoon, evenings, mornings? Let them answer the question. Evenings would be good. Okay, well, Tuesday evening between 6 and 6:30, or would closer to 7:30, would that work better? So when I'm reading through this, it says, but they do require me to verify that you are who you say you are. If they're going to pay your mortgage, they want me to be sure I'm not offering coverage to someone who's, I don't know, dragging an oxygen tank around. So it takes me about 10 minutes to go over this with you two. I'm giving them more of a reason as to why I need to come out there and sit with them. Now that we've booked the appointment, we want to lock it down. This is not time to get off the phone as soon as we have the appointment set. We want to make sure that if we're taking the time to drive out to somebody's home, they're going to be there. I'm just going to ask some simple questions after I have the appointment set and on my books. Now I have your address down as 123 Main Street. If I put this in my GPS, will it bring me right to your home? Okay, if you want to make a little note somewhere, do you want to write this down? And also, I want to make sure there's wiggle room in their mind. I don't want them expecting me at 6 p.m. I'm going to say, if you would please give me plus or minus about 20 minutes on our appointment time. You know how traffic can be in our area. And then I just simply sign off. Have a great weekend. I'll see you Tuesday. Okay, we're almost ready for a script review. I want you to follow along with the script in front of you. And what we're going to do is cover all 5 of the bullet points: the introduction, health questions, emotion question, book the appointment, and then lock it down. Okay, let's go to the script, and I'm going to interject as if a client were on the other line. Hi, John? Yeah? Hey there, this is Scott. Scott Summers? I'm calling about your Bank of America mortgage for $250,337 for your home over there on 123 Main Street here in New York City. Yeah, what about it? And the reason for my call is you had sent over the form for mortgage protection back when you took out the loan, and it's my job to verify the information that you wrote down so I can work up some options for you. Let's see here. You put down your birthday as 3/22/74. Yeah. Okay. And I see another birthday down here is 4/22/76. Is that your spouse, I'm guessing? Yes, it is. Okay. And let's see. The form didn't have her first name. It's Jane. Oh, okay. Yeah, I smoke. Okay. And is that cigarettes or pipes, cigars? Cigarettes. Okay. And how about Jane? Is she a smoker? No, she's a non-smoker. Okay, great. Let's see here. And any recent medical conditions I need to know about, like heart attack, cancer, stroke? Let's see. I had a heart attack. Okay. And let's see. What year was that? That was 2015. Okay. And any type of follow-up treatments or medications? No. Okay. Anything you need to control, like high blood pressure, diabetes? Yeah, actually, I take high blood pressure medicine. Okay, and how many medications do you take? I just take one. Okay, do you know the name of that medication? Yeah, it's lisinopril. Okay, now that I have that, any other medications or conditions that I need to know about? Nope, outside of that, everything's good. Okay, now this mortgage, is that a 15-year, 20-year, or was that a 30-year? That was a 30-year. Okay, and what's the monthly payment ballpark? Well, I guess the most important thing I need to know is what's your main concern as far as the coverage goes? What did you want the coverage to do for you? Okay, John. Well, I'm a broker, so I'm not married to any one particular carrier, and that's why Bank of America referred me to you. I can tell you, you most likely qualify for what's called simplified issue, which basically means it's non-medical. We don't have to send a nurse out there to prick you with a needle or ask you a bunch of crazy health questions, but they do require me to verify that you are who you say you are. I can give you about 10 minutes to go over this with you too. Let's see, during the week, are you two available in the afternoon, evenings, mornings? The evenings? Okay. Would this Tuesday, 6:30, would that work, or would the 7 to 7:30 work better for you? Okay, now I have your address down as 123 Main Street. So if I put this in my GPS, will that bring me right to your home? Okay, if you want to make a note, my name is Scott Summers. I drive a little blue pickup. If you would please give me plus or minus about 20 minutes on an appointment time. You know how traffic can be in our area. Okay, have a good weekend. Another type of lead source that we have here at Symmetry is called a call-in lead. This will look slightly different. Be sure that you don't get the two confused. A typical direct mail lead will have handwriting, of course, from the client. A call-in lead was generated due to a postcard that was mailed to them from Symmetry Financial Group regarding their mortgage. The postcard instructed the client to call in. They listened to a brief message, they listened to a recording, then they followed the prompts, which generated information that became a lead. Sometimes the mortgage information that was generated that created the yellow postcard might have been a little bit older. Either way, the postcard was mailed and somebody responded. So there are two questions that are asked on the card that somebody responds to. The first question is, are you a smoker? Dial 1 for yes and 2 for no. The second question is there a co-borrower? Dial 1 for yes and 2 for no. Because these were the two questions that were asked on the follow-up call, these are the questions that we are going to confirm the information for. After they answer the two questions, they hear a recording that tells them to enter in the best callback number for the agent. So the phone script for the call-in lead is going to be almost identical. There's just going to be some tweaks in the introduction. Let's cover those now. Hi, John. Hey there, this is Scott. Scott Summers. I'm calling about your Bank of America mortgage for $334,233 for your house over there on 123 Main Street here in New York City. Yeah, what about it? And the reason for my call is we sent you over a little yellow postcard for your mortgage, and someone in the home had called in and provided us with the information so we can work up some options on the mortgage protection. I was almost through getting this ready, but I wanted to verify what was entered so I can work these options up for you. Okay, let's see here. It says here that you are a non-smoker. That's correct. Okay, and I see that there is no co-borrower on this loan. Is that correct? Yes. Okay, now that we've confirmed the information that they provided on the call, it's time to just move forward with the normal script. Okay, now let's talk about some rebuttals to objections. I'm not sure what this call is about. If you didn't establish the reason why you're calling early, sometimes you'll get this objection. Initially, we said, the reason I'm calling is you had sent in a letter for the mortgage protection, and I just wanted to verify the information. That might not make any sense to them. They might not understand what mortgage protection is. So I'm just going to say it a little differently. This is the coverage that would protect your family if something were to happen to you. You had sent the form in and then move on. A lot of times they're going to understand, or they're going to say, okay, oh yeah, I remember that letter now. I'm not interested. A lot of times when you get this, the potential client doesn't understand what it is that you're calling for. They might think that this is a cold call. So what you want to do is buy yourself a little bit more time on the phone. Okay, let me update my file. I like saying, let me update my file because that's going to buy me some more time. After I do that, then I'm going to try to reestablish the fact that they sent the letter in, and I want to ask them what changed. So let me update my file really quick. Let's see. Now, since you sent the letter in, I guess what's changed? Why did you feel that you didn't need this coverage? Was it because maybe the premium was too high? And then see where the conversation goes. Isn't that just life insurance? When I get this objection, a lot of times it's not really an objection at all. They just are unsure exactly what the coverage is all about. I'm going to tell them, well, it is life insurance, but it more or less takes care of the mortgage if something were to happen to you. But it also covers different things like disability, critical illness, and it also returns your premium if you want that option, where if you don't need it, it's going to pay you your premium back. I'm busy right now. Can you call me back? Actually, yeah, if you have about 30 seconds, I can call you back later, or you just want to go ahead and take care of this now. And that's going to give me time, because a lot of times what they're going to say is, oh, if it only takes 30 seconds, well, I'm going to start going into hurry up mode, but I'm just going to get the basics of what I need. Okay, well, let me just ask you this. Any type of health information I need to know? Have you had anything recent, like a heart attack, cancer, stroke? And now I'm kind of right back into the script. I'm just going to take it a little bit quicker. And I just want to make sure at the end I'm pivoting to booking the appointment and making their reason for not wanting to talk to me earlier the reason I booked the appointment. For example, here, well, it sounds like you're really busy right now. So instead of going over all this on the phone, I need to come out there and verify that you are who you say you are anyway. Let me ask you this. When are you typically home from work? In the afternoon with your spouse, evening, mornings? Let them answer the question, then pivot and book the appointment. It's always important that you just take control and book the appointment. Well, how much does this cost? Well, yeah, that's exactly why I called. So that's the thing is I'm a broker, so I'm not married to any one particular carrier. So what I do is I take this and run this through the system, see what my best three options are, then I go over that with you. Let me just ask you this. Are you typically home from work in the afternoons, evening, mornings? I'm always right back on script. Yeah, can't you just mail me or email me something? That's exactly why I called. So this is the thing is I'm a broker. I'm not married to any one particular carrier, and that's why I'm referred to you. But this is simplified issue, which basically means it's non-medical. So I don't need to send a nurse to your home and prick you with a needle or ask you a bunch of crazy health questions. They just want me to verify that you are who you say you are. So I can give you about 10 minutes and go over this with you too. My spouse doesn't need to be there, right? Well, actually, here's the thing is if your spouse is going to be the one that's the beneficiary, I definitely need to go over this with both of you, even if she or he is not going to be covered. Always make sure that the spouse is there. We never want to go sit an appointment unless both homeowners are there. We're really busy right now. Okay. In this situation, I really want to just kind of use their objection as a reason why I want to hurry up and book the appointment. I'm really busy too. I've got a stack of these to go through. Let me just ask you this. Heaven forbid something were to happen to you. Would it be difficult for the spouse to keep the home? A lot of times asking that emotion question early and getting a yes or no answer, which it usually is going to be yes, it puts me back on track just enough to be able to book the appointment. Now, mind you, here I'm not going to be on the phone very long. I'm really just trying to shoot to book the appointment. They've already told me they don't have time. Now I've bought more time by using the emotion question and getting back on track. Here's your main takeaway from this. You're going to get better at overcoming objections as you move through this. It's important that anytime you ever give a rebuttal to an objection, that you're right back on script and you're the one talking. You don't want to leave what we call death pauses. Can you email me something? That's exactly why I called. This is a simplified issue, which basically means I don't need to send a nurse out there to prick you with a needle. They just want me to verify that you are who you say you are. So I need to give you about 10 minutes and kind of go over this with you in person. I'm not wasting any time. I'm right back on script. That's the most important thing that you can take away from this. Never leave spaces. Always give a rebuttal and go right back into it.